This is the live stream of Yama Esports. It's gonna be Team Ether from Nepal versus Yama Esports from Darjeeling. So with us we have our casters, Shinryu and Quentin, who will be doing the casting things.
Who is missing here?
Who missing, sir?
Your cousin Renji.
Renji.
Posted. Where is this Renji boy? Okay guys, let's welcome our Quentin and Shinryu. We have both of them for casting tonight.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible. Let's go.
Alrighty. Do we have viewers earlier? I need to get my other phone. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly friendly scrims between Team Yama Esports and Team Esters. So the match will begin soon. We are just waiting for the players to join in. We have Team Yama Esports on the blue side and Team Ethers on the red side. And along with me, I have Quentin to cast. So Quentin, say hello to the chat.
Hello everyone in chat. Welcome to tonight's match.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. Are you excited tonight, Quentin?
This is going to be team. Yep. We have two very good teams in a friendly match.
Yes, sir. So I guess this is going to be a best of three, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yup, it is a best of 3. Winners of 2 matches. Well, it is a friendly match, so.
By the way, guys, if you don't know, Team Ethers are from Nepal. They are joining us from our neighborhood country. As for Team Yama, they are your very own local team, I would say. The one you get to see a lot. The one who hosted the Vortex tournament very recently. And yeah, like we will have Lag No Limit, Kaizen, Rio, and Panties with us to join from the side of Team Yama, whereas for the side of Team Ethers, we have Chiro, your daddy, Asim, Pujan, Vinod Sam, and Zeus. So, all the best to both the sides, and yeah, like, may the better side win the games. As for the final member has joined in. Yeah, Quentin, go on.
The pain in your voice as you had to say those names, man. Well, welcome. I guess both teams are ready for this friendly match.
I suppose, but I guess one of the members left the lobby, so we'll have to just wait. I mean, the fact you mentioned the pain is like, it's just momentary because it does get time to, it takes time to get used to those names. So, yeah, I guess with the second game we'll be used to it. Yeah. Apart from that, guys, this is a friendly scrims between these two teams. And we are finally in the drafting section. Let's see what will these two teams prioritize. Currently, the EXP lane is quite better, and yeah, the heroes are pretty prioritized. Don't you think so, Quentin?
Indeed, the EXP has been pretty on point. Gold has lost its intensity and charm with the marksmen actually starting to fall off, but we'll have to see what happens here as we have Team Yama on the blue and Ethers on the red.
Yes, sir. And first ban comes in. It's Alice, which is pretty rampant on the goal lane in the current meta.
Yup, her buffs along with the buff to Clock of Destiny really has made her a scary hero to go against, as Ethers do ban out Khalid, which is one of those EXP laners that has been creating storms both in your ranked games and in professional matches.
Absolutely, like it's something to reckon with, and Team Ethers, they don't want to deal with that. They instantly ban that hero, as we will see what the next ban will be, and it's Aurora from the side of Team Yama. Okay.
Both teams, they're not giving any chances. They're removing whatever is in the current meta.
I mean, Aurora is pretty strong. Like, it kind of disables a lot of set tanks to, go in and, do the things they want to do. So, pretty solid ban. Okay, a Chow ban. Don't see that pretty often, but okay. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Chow can be used in many lanes. We recently saw Chow in the gold lane as well, but him having that flex potential is particularly scary, as Yama banned the Phobius.
Phobius is strong. I mean, the infernal pursuit is pretty difficult to counter. As for the final ban, it will be the Link from the side of Team Ethers and instant Fanny Lock by Rio.
Interesting. Kind of counterintuitive with the Ling getting banned out as the Phobius was available. But with the immediate Fanny lock-in by Rio, there is the potential for the Hayabusa to be filled in on this second pick.
I feel like, the chip can be picked out here. It's a pretty good hero to have with the global ultimate, and yeah, they're still up for the take. But they will go with
Vexana. Indeed, Vexana is one of those mages that is pretty good. It can counter most assassins with the dive in if the grasp of death does land. But we are seeing that Ethers are going with the Ixia lock-in, which is frankly interesting.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty early to lock that marksman for the side of Team Ethers. As for the Vexana, it is a pretty, immediate mage that you can pick after the Aurora in the current meta, so kind of valid. As for Team Yama, they will lock the Chip and the Cecilion, so yeah, quite strong picks already.
Indeed. We were thinking that the Chip would go on to the side of Team Ethers, but who is the one to pick that up, as the Carmilla is locked in for that roam position on the red team. Very interesting pick.
Yeah, Carmilla is the counter towards the Chip pick, so it does make sense. As for our viewers who are not aware with Team Yama, I'm sorry about that. The Who is he used to be the global Chip a couple of weeks back when he was active, right before the festival season. So he just, that is one of his comfort picks. So he is pretty strong on that hero. So Team Ethers need to watch out for that pick. As for the bans are coming in the second phase of the banning stage, we can see the Hayabusa and the Claude getting banned. So high mobility heroes off the chart already.
Yep, and as the EXP lane now starts getting thinner and thinner, the Teresla immediately getting banned out. Even though Teresla was slightly nerfed, he is still doing pretty well in that EXP lane. Not the highest on the list, but still able to hold his own. Now we have to see what Team Yama has to pick off in this last ban. They could ban out another EXP laner or another jungler, but they do ban out the Gacha.
Yes, sir. I mean, Gatot Kacha is again an EXP laner, pretty strong, pretty valid with the Avatar of the Guardian. So getting it out of the picture is a smart move from the side of Team Yama. As for the pick, let's see. What will Team Ethers prioritize out here? I feel like they do need a jungler, or will they leave it for the last pick? Quentin, what do you think?
Oh, with the jungler option, again, yeah, they just leave it out for that last pick, as they do lock in the EXP Ruby this time around, which, considering that the EXP lane for Team Yama isn't shown, Ruby is a decent enough pick to go up against something like the Chip and the Fanny. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got the Yu Zhong and a Mia lock in from the side of Kaizen, which is interesting, but works well, especially against something like the Ixia in lane. What do you think?
I'm not really sure if the Mia can bully the Ixia, out here, but it is a good strong pick in order to, get the split push, get those, in order to secure that late game for the side of Team Yama. They do have the early game secure with the Fanny and the early game from this Paquito, but for the late game, they do have the Cecilion and the Mia, so their draft look pretty solid as for now. And the final pick will be the jungle for the side of Team Ethers. Will they lock the Nolan out here?
Okay. They go for the Julian instead, which is interesting. There were a lot of heroes available, so it was more so a pick and choose for that last jungle position. Now we've got Team Yama with a very aggressive composition, whereas Team Ethers are running the front to back. Let's see what happens in this friendlies best of 3 game number 1.
I do feel like Team Ethers lack the backline markers for their side. They don't have anybody to mark the mage and the marksman from the side of Team Yama. But we'll see how it plays out in the game in the land of Dawn. I'm sorry. But yeah, we will go in for the first game. As Quentin mentioned, this is a best of 3 of friendly scrims between these two teams, Team Yama and Team Ethers. So let's see who will take the first game out here. Which draft do you inclined more towards out here?
So I have to be a little bit biased over here. I do like the aggression coming in from Yama Esports.
I mean, they do have the calm to go in pretty, aggressively. But if they commit any mistake, they can get heavily punished from the entire artillery that Team Ethers have to offer. So let's see how will they, utilize their picks. Yep, yes, sir. Yeah, we'll soon jump into the game as we are waiting for the players to load in.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the
First
battlefield.
match
Smash
between
them.
Yama Esports and Ethers from Nepal all the way. Friendly's best of 3 started off as both sides. They start with the blue buff.
Yes, sir. Pretty standard rotation coming in so far. Nothing so fancy. We can see the chip already trying to open up the red buff from the side of Team Ethers. So I think the planning might go for a steal onto that red. So yeah, stealing this pretty good.
Yep, the Fanny does come in pretty well. Fuel getting jumped very low, might get first blood over here as the crew does connect with his stun. But Rio needs to be a little bit careful. He does secure the red buff and is able to get out, but we do have the Vexana able to get a counter back and take out Fanny herself. All in all,
I guess that was a bit too greedy from the side of Rio, a bit overstep. I mean, not overstay, but overstay out there. So, yeah, but that does deny a lot of farm from the side of Julian. So, this will give the advantage to the side of Team Yama in the long run. So, let's see how will they make the next move. You can see who already getting chunked low does have the flicker, but will fall from the stun coming in from this Carmilla. So the skills are getting traded in already in the first 2 minutes of the game.
We already see that the Ruby is in a tight spot, gets shrunk down very low by the iron cables, is able to get taken out by the Fanny. Rio picking up another kill for himself as the recalls to begin.
Yes, sir, they're enjoying themselves already. As we can see, the turtle has spawned. So both the junglers, both the teams haven't made their way. As we can see, Team Yama, the first one to make their way to the turtle pit. They're already starting it.
In a better position, I need to say, as Ethers is trying to get a good look into that turtle, but is probably deciding not to take this fight. We do have the Ruby jumping in. The shortcut already getting used up as Zeus does fall. The Vexana now in a little bit of trouble, but the missile barrage does come in, who now in a very tight spot gets locked in by the Curse of Blood. Meanwhile, in the backside, the Fanny does use the iron cables pretty well. Sicilian able to pick off the Vexana and is safely back under his turret. A very sloppy fight for the side of Ethers.
Yeah, it was a long overextended fight, after the turtle. So, yeah. However, Team Yama were the one who came on top of that exchange. So, they are looking pretty solid in the first half of the game, the early game. Looking pretty solid. We can see the goal lead already leaning towards the side of Team Yama with 1k goal lead. Another engage might take place.
You see that the Carmilla gets pretty low though in that case. The Vexana does land the stun onto Who, but with that Ethers, the Fanny is present, the Cutthroat landing onto the Vexana but is not able to take her down. As the Who does have shortcut available, will he be using that on the tower? Yes, he does, as the Potato comes in for the cleanup. That's 5 people from the side of Yama. 4 people from the side of Yama. Meanwhile, that turns into a full turnaround as the Ixia's missile barrage is able to take 3 of them out.
Yes, sir, that was a bit too over-aggressive behavior coming in from the side of Team Yama, and they got just punished for that. And you can see the goal is pretty even now with that failed engage coming in from the side of Team Yama, as the second turtle will soon spawn on top side. But on the bot lane, another engage. Fanny was able to take down the Sister.
The Cutthroat able to pick that kill up pretty well as the turtle does spawn. Will you see that Team Yama, who is in a better position right now, as Ethers, they are trying to get into a good enough position to start this turtle up. The Julian, slightly lower in EX. I don't know, a level higher than the Fanny, but the Fanny coming in aggressively does get stunned up over there. Trying to get the Ixia as much as she can. On the bot side, the shortcut does come out. Julian does fall, so does the Carmilla. And that is 3 members down for the side of Ethers. Yama is pretty low, but they do win out in that skirmish.
Yes, whatever goal lead that they lost is back on their side, and yeah, that was a pretty good fight for Team Yama as they are able to get this turtle with that engage and might find a turret on the top lane if Mia is able to push that before Ixia comes, but I guess she won't be able to do so. And yeah, looking at the items, we can see most members from the side of Team Yama have already made their first item, so they're looking pretty good already. As for Team Ethers, they are not too far behind. They are also covering up the gold. As well, you can see another engage might take place.
Yep, the shortcut being not available right now. Meanwhile, in the backside, Zeus is trying to poke down the Paquito. Now Jiro is pretty low, but who might just be able to get out of this by a sliver. Nope, he does land the shortcut. He has a sliver of HP, is able to go back. Meanwhile, on the bot side, we do see that Vexana is the first to fall as Carmilla gets very low. Julian is forced to retreat from that blue buff as well, as Carmilla is surviving by a sliver as well.
The Perception side really came in clutch for that Carmilla. Asim really was able to sidestep even the damage coming in from Lag No Limit, aka Suki. So yeah, that is pretty good recover, I would say. Not giving the extra kill, but Fanny with a Cutthroat able to get a shutdown on Chiro. So another trade, another kill.
We do have that skirmish in the bot side as who is present. He does not have the shortcut yet, but that might just be enough to deter the rest of the 2 members from the side of Ethers. As the turtle does spawn in, here comes the Fanny just trying to poke around. Lag No Limits on the other side. Good position onto that wall, takes down the Carmilla, as we do have the Paquito taking out Zeus.
We can see the bad impact already dealing a lot of damage, so this Sicilian is getting pretty good back. As for Chiro, he is a bad spot, will have to spend the retribution to survive, but the full barrage, not the full barrage, the ultimate coming in from Ixia, able to get a shutdown onto Antes as the fight is still going on. Vinod Sama falls after that bad impact connecting onto him, so another kill.
That impact immediately wiping him out. Meanwhile, we do see who is in a very tight spot. Even the shortcut might go down instead. The Curse of Blood does land on the Mia. Mia is pretty low, able to sustain for just a little bit longer, but not enough for the rest of his team to come support him.
Yes, sir. I mean, the aggression which is coming in from the side of Team Yama is getting punished at times, from the side of Peter. So if they keep on doing the same mistakes, they might throw the game in the late game in the long run. The whole bounty that they have on them, it is getting pretty, even out as they're giving away the kills. We can see the Fanny going in and able to get a shot down and will fall as a result from the damage coming in from the side of Team Eater. So Rio again being too aggressive, I would say. Okay, another engage. Look at that.
Yep, we do see that the Paquito is caught in the thick of it, but now the Ruby might be just getting taken out over there. The missile barrage does come in. Meanwhile, who in the backside is able to stop that, uses the shortcut and cause the rest of his team straight onto the Ixia. As the rest of Ethers, they are trying to scramble away from this fight. It looks kind of scary. The Vexana does get caught up over there, but who needs to be a little bit careful. The rest of his team is there to help him out here. The Curse of Blood does lock into 2. Will it be enough We do have to put the already getting down, but Mia is in a very tight spot. Gets the double kill, but is shut down, giving the Ixia a killing spree. Meanwhile, the Sicilian and the Bat Impact doing pretty good damage, but without much mana, he is forced to retreat. And he does try to come back in, but is unable to find Ixia.
Yes, and with that, the Lord has already spawned, so Team Ethers not looking in the better spot to take this, so they might have to consider farming up a bit before they take another fight, and they are lacking the damage to punish the over-aggressive behavior coming in from the side of Team Yama. As for Team Yama, we can see who really trying his best to engage with those shortcuts really deep onto the back line, so that is a pretty good engages from him, whereas Mia is not really having a too good time in this game. We can see him being 3-3-3, like not the typical old lane KD we see usually. Another engage might take place.
Yep, but that is decided to call off as the Who, look at him, such a deep position, uses the shortcut over there. The rest of Yama is crashing down. The Curse of Blood does catch 3 people into the missile barrage as Vexana takes down the Mia, who is down as well, as Sicilian is able to take down Carmilla. Paquito still at the backside. The wind chant saving Ixia by a sliver. Now will Paquito be able to get out over here? We do see Julian trying to go in for that chase. The Fanny does come in. The cut short is still available. Will he be able to get that? Nope, he decides to go on to the Vexana instead. Now the Julian needs to be a little bit careful. He is spotting a tight spot. Does go down a double kill for the Fanny. Meanwhile the Ruby trying to jump onto the Sicilian. Makes a mistake, goes locked into a wall and gets taken out.
Quentin, did you see that clutch play coming in from Panty? Is able to sustain like the use of that shield for both the the normal and the enhanced one. So damn, like that was such a clutch play coming in from him. Really able to outplay that Ruby's like aggressive maneuver. So really the small things making up for the side of Team Yama. As for Team Ethers, they are trying to get back into the game with the aggressive route, but Fanny not able to find the cut throat or the enough damage to shut down the Vexana. As we can see, the Who already being too deep. So not
He's able to steal that red buff away. Ooh, that is sad for Julian, as he does not have both buffs available for him.
I mean, things are not really looking too good for the side of Team Ethers. They are fit on the behind, even in the team fight.
Forced to figure out over there, a little bit of a misplay. Meanwhile, the Lord does get taken up. We might see a full-on fight over there, as Who is in a good position. Uses the shortcut onto the Vexana, as Vexana is the first fall. The rest of Team Yama are caught in the missile barrage, but not enough damage to take him out. Meanwhile, Ruby is the second person to fall over there in that team fight, as Julian and Ixia are the only ones able to return back to their base. That Lord does spawn in the bot side.
If only the Carmilla could have connected that ultimate, the Curse of Blood, things would have looked very different right now. But unfortunately, Team Yama, they are playing for the, the key to victories that they have, the objectives that they need to cover up. So they are looking pretty good at this. But the Lord might get cleared up pretty easily by the side of Team Ethers. But this bot lane inhibitor might fall. Or will still stand is the question. It will stand, I guess, as
top side there is a big fight coming out to the Curse of Blood landing on 2. We do see that the Carmilla is pretty low over there. Ruby is able to get taken out. We do have the Paquito also out of the game, as the Fanny does get a double kill and is able to just cable away from that mess of a fight, as Team Ethers lose 3 as well in the skirmish.
Yes, sir. I mean, Team Ethers can get the goal lead back if they get these shutdowns onto these members from the side of Team Yama, as they're being so aggressive at times. As you can see, the Fanny, okay, will not go in just with the cables, doing a bit of, freestyle. But this bot lane inhibitor will fall from the minions pushing in, and yeah, so far, the goal lead is leading to the side of Team Yama. We can see them having the better position, better items as the game is slowly progressing to the to the late game. So with this dawning of the late game, this bad impact and the Mia will hit quite hard. So Team Ethers, they really need to cover up their grounds pretty solid. I mean, if one wrong mistake and they can just throw the game away.
Indeed, as we do see the silver lining for the side of Ethers is that connection you were talking about earlier between the Carmilla's Curse of Blood and the Missile Barrage, the full barrage coming in from the Ixia. But that makes it difficult, especially with something like the Sicilian available on the board. Look at who just trying to get into a better position to use that shortcut. That is a mid inhibitor going down for the side of Ethers. There's a bit of aggressive position coming in from Suki as the top inhibitor also falls.
That does not look good as the Lord has spawned, but Team Ethers, they do have the goal onto their goal, the marksman, so if they take an engage, they do have the damage, from the full barrage, so they can take a fight if they want to, but they might have to clear out the minions which are getting shoved in by the side of Team Yama. As you can see the Paquito just trying to try to be a bit intimidating towards the side of Team Ethers, but will not try to find an engage as the Lord has been taken by the side of Team Yama. So what will be the next move? What do you think Team Ethers should do out here to defend this successfully?
Oh, this is going to be a very tough defense as Team Ethers, they need to take down the Mia initially if they want to actually keep their base alive, because that Mia, with the blessing of the Moon Goddess, can lock onto that base turret and immediately shred it down. So they have to be very careful on their positioning, Ethers.
Yes, the Lord is marching down the mid lane. We can see Team Yama already trying to find the aggressive gameplay that they are used to. We can see full barrage already been committed, but the Who already going in the back line uses a shortcut, but not enough. But the fight is collapsing.
The base is pretty low, and the Lord does get that last hit as Yama Esports win this first round of the best of 3.
Yes, sir. I mean, they did have the mechanics. They did have the tools. They did have the heroes, and they did have the ground to play with. But Team Yama, they just came in with the aggressive maneuver around the map with the Fanny flying in and the rest of the team to collapse with a shortcut being used by the Who's ships. So Team Ethers, they were not really prepared. They did not look at a good spot to counter-react to the engages coming in from the side of Yama. So I would say Team Ethers, if they want to win the next game, they have to play around their try to come out of this comfort picks a bit. I would say maybe try to go for those meta heroes more, steal away the heroes that they can from the side of Team Yama. But yeah, what do you have to say for that game, Quentin?
Good picks from both teams, slight overextensions here and there, but overall the team with the better rotation did win that one out. We have to see what happens in the second match as Team Ethers, they could bring a new game plan and completely counter-rotate what Yama Esports have in store.
Yes, sir. I mean, Team Ethers are here to, scrim against Team Yama, so they are not gonna go down so easily. I believe they will try to give in their all and have a chance at this comeback. Let's see what will they do differently this game around. But for the last match, who do you think was the playmaker for the side of Team, the game changer, I would say, not the playmaker for the side of Team Yama? Like, who stood out to you the most?
Who?
The Who.
Exactly, yes. His positions coming in, those shortcuts, he was looking for Ixia and no one else. He saw the Ixia, he would immediately shortcut onto her, and the rest of Team Ethers would immediately collapse to try and defend the goal laner. And initially, he just controlled the entire team fights, you could say.
I do agree with you. Like, I would say the full barrage had the, potential to kind of deal the entire blow, the entire damage with the Curse of Blood, but who really, reduced the casualty for their side and even able to, help the team to mark the backline with the pick. So that's what I was talking about even in the beginning of the game. Like, Team Ethers did not have too many heroes to mark the backline coming from the side of Team Yama. As for Sabon.
Yep, that's exactly the point that is to be noted over here. Both teams had good compositions. It was just that the whose positioning was a little bit better. That actually reduced casualties, as you were saying, because if that Curse of Blood final barrage did land, it would be quite devastating against something like the Shortcut.
Absolutely, and I guess both teams are ready to take on one another for the second match. As we are just waiting to dive into the Land of Dawn, we can see the game has already begun. We are into the drafting, the banning stage, the first ban phase. So let's see what will be the bans coming in from the side of Team Ethers this game around. I guess they might ban the chip this time, considering how lethal it was for their backline.
Indeed, as Ethers, they are in the blue side this time around, and Yama are on the red. The chip immediately getting taken off the board. Now let's see what Yama have to actually retaliate. And I believe they might just go in for something like the meta heroes that they were banning, something like the Alice, something like the Aurora, something like the Khalid, and they do decide to take out Aurora.
Like I mentioned, Team Yama really is not like to play around that Aurora, like they like to play the aggressive gameplay. So judging from that, the Aurora does have the tools to punish those aggression coming in. So pretty sensible ban, again I would say, for the side of Team Yama. As for Team Ethers, they might want to ban the Fanny or the Link once again.
That could be an option, or they might just ban out something like the Khalid or the Alice as well. Those two heroes are still open and available.
But they will not ban either, but rather get the Zushin banned away, as they don't want that annoying lantern to be there to, pull the members back. And an instant Phobius block, which is, yes sir.
Which is interesting. Now we do have, again, a lot of heroes are still available in the current meta. If they do have the first pick, so Team Ethers, they may be planning to pick up something interesting over here. But
that could be
let's see what they have to bet. Yeah.
That could be the thing. The new hero, Shuyu, was not picked at all. Let's see the playoffs for the MPLPH today, I believe, and the side of Team FNOP, Fnatic Onyx Philippines, they were really able to utilize that hero so brilliantly. So that is something I wish either of this team, kind of utilized into their draft. But the Hayabusa and the Luna sitting banned already. Okay, the Fanny getting picked this time, Quentin.
Indeed, a little bit of a wraparound as the Ling gets picked up by Rio as well. So this is going to be an assassin on assassin match, which we might come to enjoy. Now the Alice is still available, which has been causing a menace in the gold side, and Team Yama, they are able to freely pick that up. Let's see what the side of Ethers have.
They can steal away the Khalid, it's still open for the take. Let's see if they will try to, get that hero for their side or not. But out here, they are trying to get the Cecilion away, I guess, this time. Fearing the damage output that they faced in the last game should not be repeated, so yeah.
They do lock in the Sicilian, and interestingly enough, the Kufra, which is going to be interesting to see in this match. We do know that who does play that Kufra. So let's see what happens around here is if he's able to do that counter rotation. Meanwhile, for the side of Team Yama, they immediately lock in the Angela. The Angela Classic, Angela Link combo coming in as we enter the second phase of the bans.
You know what, Quentin? This is most probably going to be a mid-lane Angela, not a roam Angela. So expect a more, set type of tank for the who to pick in this game around. But the carry and the Hylos getting banned pretty quickly. And the Mia will be the last for the side of Team Yama.
Why do I have an odd feeling that they might be something like Belleric or even the Dig coming out here? Feels weirdly familiar, this scenario, as the Khalid is finally getting taken out. We do have Yama with that first pick in the second phase. What do you think they'll pick up over here?
It's pretty hard to guess, Team Yama can pull up anything, but they are going for more shield. More heal as well for their side, so interesting choice out here.
Wow, that was something that even I wasn't expecting. The double support play that's coming in from the side of Yama Esports. Interesting game that we're going to have over here. As for the side of Ethers, we do have the Ruby getting locked in again. This time around, it might go to the gold lane. Looking at the players that do have that. Yep, the Expo getting locked in as well. This is going to be a gold lane Ruby. What do you think about it?
The Alice versus the Ruby, I feel like the early game, the Alice can harass the Ruby a bit, but as we'll move into the later stage of the game with the items coming in, I think the Ruby will be able to sustain as well as do the CC for their side. But I fear Team Yama do not have much CC for their side. They do have the damage output, they do have the sustain, but where will the CC coming in? The Yusong does get picked, he does have the skill set to give the CC, but is it really enough for their side? Do you think so?
Interestingly enough, I don't think Yama Esports, they care about that CC that they have. They just want to go aggressively, especially with something like the Angela and the Matilda. They will be diving a lot more than the side of Team Ethers, I believe. Let's see what happens as we do get ready to enter the Land of Dawn.
They do have to face off the Fanny, so things can be different this game around. But yeah, we are finally in for the second game, the second match, where is Team Yama already with the match point. As for Team Ethers, they have to come back if they want to get the reverse sweep for their side. Let's see, both the traps have been locked in, and yeah, it'll all come down to the gameplay at the end of the day. So yes sir, take us to the game, take us to the Land of Dawn, Quentin.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
As we do enter the Land of Dawn, both teams are ready. They are starting off from, I believe this is going to be just standard rotations, as the Link does go to his red and no, they're both starting off with the blue, and they are going to be doing counter rotations. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over here, as the Fanny and the Link may not meet up much in the early game. We can already see who just trying to get vision onto this Fanny and her blue buff, but the Kufra is there to start chunking him down, as well as the Angela playing very aggressively against something like the Sicilian, who has to use that first skill, able to jump down the mid lane for the side of Ethers.
Absolutely, I guess this will be a bit slow-paced game, unlike the first game. As you can see, the bot lane already having some action.
Yep, we do see that the Yuzhong is in a very tight spot, gets caught between three members. Meanwhile, on the other side, they do get that trade off with the Sicilian getting taken out the board pretty early on, which is not very good for a Sicilian in the early game, I'd say.
Yes, sir, I guess the counter kill was a good exchange for the side of Team Yama, able to get a shutdown onto that Sicilian is something they do need it for their early game. But as you can see, the Who already getting the vision onto the Fanny, letting his team know where the Fanny will be for the next rotation. But top lane,
the Fanny with the Cutthroat is not able to actually get Kaizen. Alice is able to survive that as the turtle does spawn in right about now. And Team Yama are in a better position, but it seems like Ling wants to secure that blue buff first before this turtle fight.
I would say that's a pretty good decision, like having that blue buff will really help them move around the map quite faster and quite effectively. But yes, the EXP laners have already reached level 4, so has the Angela. You can see the turtle already cut.
Fanny is pretty far, but does come in with the iron cables. Will he be able to get that? Nope, as the Ling does secure the turtle. A good stun in from the side of the Yuzhong. The Tempest of Blades already coming out. The hard cut already used up onto the Yuzhong this time around. Now, Who is pretty low. The Circling Eagle does come in straight into the Sicilian. Will Sicilian be falling over there? I don't think so, not yet, as the Cutthroat does come in. Angela is able to pick up the kill on CC. As the Fanny trying to chase Who, but Who just maneuvering beautifully. Does get taken out in exchange for Fanny. But all in all, that's a good trade for the side of Yama Esports.
Yes, the Fanny looked a bit desperate to get the shutdown onto the roam. I would not say like a bit conventional thing we get to see usually, but yeah, that's his decision at the end of the day. But this might not turn another engage, I believe. Yes, back to the game. I see the goal lead is slowly leading. Okay, another engage on the mid lane. So Who will be able to get out of there. But the goal lead is slowly shifting towards the side of Team Yama, already having that turtle onto their pocket as well as 2 extra kills, so giving the lead early game towards their side. But what do you think can be the changing factor as we will slowly move to the mid game?
Well, the mid game is where the Fanny does usually shine well, so the Fanny with that 111 KDA is not in a bad position right now. There is the chances for the Kufra to actually do well over here. As we say that, the Angela does get caught off and the kill is given over to Chiru. So that is something. Meanwhile, in the bot side, there was a little bit of a skirmish, but that is an X-Borg that we're talking about. Does have his shields up. Meanwhile, the Angela's hard cut does come onto the Tempest of Blades coming in from the Ling. Will the Ling be able to get out of the turret? Yes, he is. The Fanny does come in with the Cutthroat. The Black Dragon form also getting used up. That's 5 members for the side of Yama on the top side. As Kufra goes down, so does the Sicilian. Now, it's time for the Ruby to get to sleep as well, as 3 more kills gets picked up by Yama Esports straight into the turtle.
Yes, with the Fanny trying to get a shutdown of the Who, able to do so, and the turtle will go to the side of Team Yama. Yes, the Ling was able to secure that trio with a good retribution. Wants to go back in, I guess. Able to spot the Fanny, but not connecting the skills, the engage he was looking for. But a good, I'm offended by the Ruby. Will not be able to find anything more except for that. But yeah, that engage was really great for the side of Team Yama right before the turtle, able to get the better, spot to secure that neutral objective for their side on the bot lane.
You do have the last Insanity getting used up by Zeus, but it's not enough to actually take down Yuzhong. So that's going to be an issue right now. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You were worried about the CC coming in from the side of Team Yama, but with the amount of aggression that they're showing, this is going to be kind of a risky position over there. The Cutthroat does come in from the Fanny, but it does land onto the Matilda, so Who is able to soak up that much damage. We do have the Kufra trying to jump back in. Meanwhile, on the backside, we do see that the Tempest Blades does come out. Ling is able to pick that kill onto the Ruby as well, as Kufra trying to get into a better position. The Sicilian in the backside does get taken out, but the Kufra is able to take down the Matilda and the Yuzhong. A killing spree secured by the Fanny, but sadly Chiro does not have enough energy for this. Now, Kufra might get caught off over there. The Alice going in pretty deep is able to scare away the Fanny as well.
Yes, the pick which caught us by surprise, the Matilda really able to, help the team sustain so much damage and so much, the engages coming in from the side of Team Ethers. Like the heal coming in from these two those two support is like really, the game changing for the side of Team Yama. Team Ether, they do need to get those anti-heals locked in pretty quickly if they want to, get a better fighting chance, as the final turtle of the game has spawned in Team Ethers. Another engage.
Yep, we do see that a slight skirmish has begun. The Yuzhong going in pretty deep into the backside. Meanwhile, the Xbox does get chunked away. Now it seems like with the hard card, the Alice, look at her positioning very deep. Will she be able to get some kills over there? Now, with the turtle done, Ling is able to come back in. Sicilian might be the first fall over there. The Tempest Blade still available, as Kufra, with the bouncing ball, is not able to catch out the Ling. The Cutthroat trying to take down the Alice, but is not enough, as we do see that the Kufra is out of the board as well. We do see that just the Ling is taken out.
Look at the sustain coming in from the side of Team Yama. Really, just when they are pretty low, still able to, get those heal coming in for both this support and, the Fanny. Even if he wants to go in, is not finding that enough damage, the shield as well as the heal really, disabling him from, getting those shutdowns that he's looking for. So, yeah, that is something Team Ethers they need to really consider before going in. Again, the Fanny goes in.
About that consideration that needs to come out. The Alice is able to take down the Fanny. The hard card onto the Alice is pretty good, catching 3 members out from the side of Team Ethers. Look at the Alice still going relentlessly into that engage. The sustain coming in is not enough to take care of that turret damage, as Alice does go down to the X-Borg, but that's more than enough, as she is able to pick off 2 from the side of Ethers.
Export not really into spot.
In fact, Export does get bursted down over there, but they do trade it out for the Yuzhong, as Matilda gets that mid lane finally for the side of Yama Esports.
Team Yama Esports are everywhere. They're under the turret. They are, going inside their almost their base. Where do Team Ethers, go for shelter? Again, another engage on the mid lane.
This is interesting. A good item offended onto the Alice. The Fanny is unable to get that Cutthroat, but is able to pick up the kill in exchange. So there is a little bit of a retaliation from the side of Ethers. They are not going down without a fight.
Yes, sir. Despite the heal coming in, it was not really enough. The damage was quite on point. Okay, another I'm offended getting connected onto the members.
Yuzhong in the tight spot does get taken out by the Fanny over there. Ling is present over there, but does get pulled in by the Ruby. The Tempest Blade does get used up. The hard card combo, but the bouncing ball is able to keep things at bay for the moment. But now, Sicilian in a tight spot. A double kill for the side of that Ling, as Hero trying his best to cover for his team. Meanwhile, the Alice is present. That might not be good. A triple kill secured by Ling. Piniac for the side of Rio.
Rio really able to utilize his hero to the maximum potential. They might be a savage. No, the Fanny was able to get out of there, but the hard card was immediately put onto Rio to help him get the savage, but unfortunately not really able to do so. But yeah, so far it's looking pretty good for the side of Team Yama. But another engage, this might be something Yama might not want to overextend as they are backing off, but the Lord has spawned in. If the Fanny goes in,
Pretty aggressive still for the side of Team Ethers. The Sicilians' bat impact is starting to rack up in stacks, but with the Lord up and available, they need to play it pretty carefully because one misstep could result to an end in the game. We do have the topside turret also falling, and now the Yuzhong is in a better position as all lanes are starting to get pressured for the side of Ethers.
yes, with 12 minutes into the game, the Lord will soon enhance, but the goal lead has been to the side of Team Yama. Another engage on the bot lane.
Ooh, the Kufra coming in with a good jump, attempts to blaze, can't go very aggressively as he does get caught off. The lane not able to survive as the killing spree does get given to the side of the Fanny. Now this might be a little bit of a messy fight for the side of Yama as the Alice does go in pretty deep, is able to get out. Fanny over there trying to clean up things. Yuzhong is able to take down Zeus for exchange of the Hu. Yuzhong might fall as well as the mega kill gets picked up. That is 3 members down for the side of Yama Esports as Ethers. They are trying to make that comeback.
Yeah, Quentin, this was what I was talking about. Like, it's just about time for this Ruby to shine, and you are slowly moving into the late game. The mid game power spike is hitting, so as we'll move into the late game, the Ruby will have the items, the sustain that they need. You know, the main game changer could be this hero. You know, like with the CC, you can see this I am offended connecting so well onto the side of Team Yama. Like, they are not able to get out like they want to. They are able to dive in, like I said, but when they want to go out, the Ruby is there to, you know, punish those over-aggressive maneuver coming in. But another engage might take place.
Ooh, the Fanny just trying to test the waters over there before this first Lord fight, which we might see happening over here as Ethers, they are trying to bait it out. You know, for the side of Yama, they are just trying to get that lane pressure in, get those lanes into a better positioning and just go in straight onto this objective.
Yes, a couple of minutes back, we did see Team Yama were leading with the goal, but as we are slowly moving into the mid-game, the goal lead is slowly diminishing. It is only of 2k, so it is not too much. One team fight can really change the tide of the game, but look at the Lord Dance, which might take place soon. Both the teams are trying to make the better position, but the waves are coming in for both the sides. They are trying to clear it before they take on to the Lord. But which team will come out victorious in this Lord fight, do you think, Quentin?
Look at the positioning coming in from the side of Team Yama. They already spot out the Fanny. Now the Matilda able to just move it properly over to the Cupcake already getting used. That's a lot of ultimate. The hard card already getting used. The Serpent Eagle able to keep Who alive as the Tempest Blade does come out. This might be a messy fight over here as Zeus does have the last insanity, is able to pick up the kill onto Who in the backside. You know, Ruby does get traded out, and this might be Zeus falling over here to Yama. He does have the flicker, he does have his Braga armor to keep himself alive. Very good fast hands onto this export.
Yes, sir, but that is a 1-for-1 trade for both these teams, and the Lord is still up for the take. Both the teams lost their... one team lost their 8th lane. Okay, another engage onto the mid lane. The Fanny not able to get the shutdown onto this Angela, but yeah, lag no limit. Suki was able to walk out with the passive of that Flask of Oasis, so a good savior for him.
The Flask of Oasis mixed in with favor is a lot of heal for that Angela, so it is able to keep themselves sustained. But the problem for both teams is that objective take. Even if they do start it, they can't really burst it down. For the side of Team Eaters, they do require the Sicilian to be there, and for the side of Yama, that Ling has to be present on that Lord if they even want to actually start bursting things down. So both teams are at a standstill when it comes to neutral objective fights. Let's see what happens over here as Yama, they are trying to bait this out, but Ethers, they do not want to take the bait yet.
The wave management coming in from the side of Team Yama is really, being the difference maker at this point. We can see the blue buff is being denied to Fanny, so the Fanny will be blueless for this Lord. So yeah, like this might prove a bit difficult for the Fanny to do much action for this Lord. As we can see, Team Yama slowly making their way to the Lord pit.
Yep, one thing they need to be careful of is that Ethers, they do have a Sicilian, so the longer the game goes, the more damage this guy will already start racking up, as the Lord does get started up, but the Black Dragon form already getting used up by the Yuzhong. The I'm Offended is still out of rotation over there. Now the Sicilian trying to get out of that fight, but the Ling is able to pick that kill up. Now this is a very messy fight coming in. The Revitalize keeping the rest of Team Yama happy and healthy, as Alice is able to do quite a bit of damage. Ruby is next to fall, and so is the Kufra. That is 3 people down for the side of Ethers. Fanny trying to go back in, is unable to land the blades, and that might be a mid inhibitor. The last Insanity trying to take down that minion in that mid side will be enough, as the Ling does go in pretty aggressively, able to get the mega kill onto the X-Borg, as the Heart Guard does come in pretty well timed by Suki, as it seems like Yama are going to go in for this Lord take. This way.
Things are not looking too good for the side of Team Ethers. They already lost 3 members. As for the Lord, which will definitely go to the side of Team Yama. And yeah, like with that, Team Ethers again on the back foot. They don't have the driver's seat on their side. They are not leading this game anymore. They are playing on the defensive, so what will they do next, which can change the tide of the game, is the question. But this Lord will march down the mid lane. Team Yama trying to slowly sink the waves for their push. The inhibitors are still standing. The mid lane is getting walked up. Another engage, will it take place, is the question. You can see the members slowly making his way onto the mid pit, but the Lord already chunked half HP. The Fanny going in, getting another engage.
Hasta coming in, the Tempest of Blaze used up by the Ling, trying to take down the Sicilian, but Sicilian is in a better position. The Sicilian's damage does come in the back, in fact able to take down the Who. Now this might be a risky fight for Yama, but it seems like with the amount of damage, the Unstoppable getting secured by the Fanny, a double kill onto this side, as that is the Angela falling as well. That is 4 members down for the side of Team Yama. And that entire fight, Ethers, they do lose 2 inhibitors, but they almost get that wipe out onto the side of the red team.
The Team Yama took more than they could chew, but as for Team Yama, they are still quite away from getting back on. The Ling needs to be back to the pace to defend the push coming in for their side. Yeah, they will have to, as recalled, as you can see, Team Yama still with the defense, able to stop the maneuvers, as Team Ethers able to get the better of the team fight. Not able to steal the blue though, but another engage might take place.
So look at this, we are going directly onto the Sicilian trying to get that kill. He does mess up his blade just a little bit, but we do see that his team is there to take down the Immortality at least. Now Angela in a very bad position, but is able to sustain a little bit longer. The Flask of Oasis is able to keep him healthy for the moment. As Team Yama, they pop to the Immortality for the side of the Sicilian, and they are happy with that much, and decide to call it quits, trying to take down the X-Borg instead.
The X-Borg really in a tight spot will fall in the hands of Team Yama, but yes, they don't have the inhibitors on the top and the mid lane. The Lord will spawn in about 20 seconds, so Team Ethers losing their X-Borg right now was not the best thing that could have happened for them. Team Yama are still at the better spot to take this Lord down, and yeah, the Sicilian constantly getting marked by the Ling is something he needs to really consider changing his positioning onto the map, but the Lord has been started by the side of Team Yama. What will Team Ethers do here, Quentin?
We might actually see an engage, because at this point they have nothing to lose. But the Sicilian is the first to fall over there, and it seems like it might be We do have the system with the Winter Crown already getting used up. Will he be able to sustain much of this? No, he is not. That is an unstoppable for the side of the lane. Meanwhile, on the backside, the Ruby Duck gets engaged upon by 3 members as the Cooper Duck gets chunked down pretty low. Alice is able to catch the Fanny for just a bit. Will Fanny be able to get out over there? Yes, he is. The Winter Crown already getting used up. Angela able to get out with the guiding winds. The last insanity coming in from the X-Org is not enough to keep the Alice at bay. The Winter Crown found the Alice able to outplay the Cutthroat coming in from the Fanny. Will this be a base defense or will this be the last stand for Ethers? As we do see that the Fanny is able to put in the works with the Gatos, but that's a lot of minions. Yama, they need to be careful over here. The minions are getting lower and lower. X-Org does fall in that skirmish. Yama do lose 1, but we do see a strong standing minion wave still available, as that is game for the side of Yama Esports.
Absolutely. I mean, Team Yama with the aggressive route, like you mentioned, just going in constantly, though getting punished, but did come out more, the better team in this best of 3, as they are able to take down Team Ethers in this best of 3 series with a score of 2-0. A clean sweep coming in for the side, as Team Ethers, they just fell short from getting the comeback, getting their games into their pocket. They did put up a great fight, but at the end of the day, it was not really enough to take down Team Yama in this best of 3 friendly scrims. What do you think?
Good games from both teams. Good skillful hero plays coming in from both sides, both players. And, well, sadly, Team Ethers, they were not able to get a single match off of this best of 3, but it was still a very entertaining series of this friendly match. So thank you for both teams to be available, and thank you for our viewers also for watching.
Yes, sir. We really appreciate Team Ethers to join us today evening. I guess we might go for a third game, or no? It is not going to happen, right?
No. We are not going for the third game. We are not going for the third game, bro. It's beautiful.
Alright. Okay. I think that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you for joining into all our lovely viewers, and of course, Team Ethers, thank you for being with us today evening. We really appreciate your participation in this weekly scrims. Yes, but with that, we have to come to an end for tonight. We have to bid farewell for the night. Any final words before we go, Quentin?
Thank you for joining. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the stream. With that, I think so. That is a wrap.
Absolutely. We will soon come in with the Vortex tournament, season 2. So do join in for that as well. But for tonight, we have to get wrapped up. Thank you for joining in. I'm Shin Ryu. With me, we had Quentin. And yeah, this is Yama Esports signing off for tonight. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, team.